Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting, coming to you today with another episode, another lesson in the introduction to sales and communications course. And this lesson's all about prospecting for new business. So we're going to run through in this lesson just a bit of an understanding about what is prospecting. And prospecting and lead generation are two sides of the same coin that have different functionalities. So to understand prospecting is simply the action of engaging with potential customers in terms of cold outreach. So when we're prospecting, what we're doing is we're basically trying to break the ice with a potential buyer and generate interest. When we're lead generation, we're trying to take that interest and then generate a lead out of it. So a key thing to understand when prospecting is the first stage of cold outreach, where we're not sending someone information prior to the engagement, which we do in lead generation. Okay, so a key thing to understand about prospecting is it's simple, it's light, it's easy communication. We have to explain to someone who we are, okay, and generate interest and sort of not qualify, but we have to understand or identify interest in our product, service, or offer that we are going to present to them. So prospecting is a very, very big part of sales, and it takes up the majority of the front end of the sale in terms of if we don't have leads to present to, we cannot sell anyone anything. So that's a key thing to understand, is that prospecting is the first stage of building our lead lists. Okay, so a key thing to understand about prospecting is I usually run the 80-20 rule. 80% of the people I talk to won't be buyers, and I'm looking to identify those 20% that are buyers or could be buyers in terms of they have interest, they have a problem or a concern that they're facing. So a key thing to understand in prospecting is we're not at the stage of selling. So we're not trying to sell them. We're in the initial stages of communications. So like what we don't want to do when we're prospecting is send someone, a whole data sheet of information about potential issues and all of this. What we're trying to do is build the initial relationship. Okay, and we can see prospecting as being the first call process where we've got an unqualified lead and we're calling them up to qualify them. That is prospecting in terms of we're trying to generate leads, because until we have a qualified lead or an interested buyer, we don't really like that name and number, that customer, that prospective buyer is not actually a lead, because we don't understand or know if they have interest in our business. So prospecting is a form of marketing in sales. Okay, so we want to follow similar principles to marketing, to cold outreach, where we're trying to build up a relationship with the potential buyer. So what we want to do is we want to, let them know who we are. We want to identify, you know, and this is really important, that we want to have some understanding of the industry or understanding of the current constraints that we're trying to solve or overcome for our potential buyer. So it's key to have some market research done to where we understand, for example, if we're doing marketing services for small businesses in the hospitality sector, so some, let's say, small restaurants, okay, what we want to do is we want to have a bit of an understanding about the industry, about the sector, about what is happening in their day-to-day, week-to-week life, so that we understand and can create an introduction that resonates with potential buyers. So one of the best things to do with prospecting is to have similar customer like identities or avatars or stories of previous customers that we can use to break the ice. So some of the most effective, you know, prospecting strategies are having, a mini case study. Well, it doesn't have to be a case study, but just having a problem identified within the industry, okay, where opening our conversation with a potential buyer through asking them questions around that problem. So if we're talking to, and we'll stay on, small businesses in the hospitality sector, so small restaurants. Okay, so what we would want to do is we would want to do a bit of research and understand, well, what are some of the biggest constraints that 80 to 90% of small business restaurants, okay, are going to be facing in their day-to-day or week-to-week life, okay? And we want to have an understanding about these problems in relation to the product, service, or offer that we are promoting to them. So we're going to stay on the same sort of scenario of we're offering marketing services to a potential, small business or small restaurant, okay, in terms of, and what we want to do is we want to have an angle. We want to have an angle that we can get in the door with. So a key thing to understand is, well, if we take a look at small restaurants, maybe some of the biggest concerns that they're going to have is variation in the busyness or the busy periods or their week, where Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday may be dead, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday may be busy. So we want to go out there and do a bit of research and look at it in terms of understanding, what is their current week look like. And we can use some averages, but also asking questions. So we don't have to know the answer, but we have to know the right questions to ask to get the answers out of potential buyers. Okay, so this is a key thing, that we're not trying to sell them on, I've got a solution to your problem. We're in the stage of information gathering and building up a conversation with our potential buyer, one that we can develop a relationship with them. So think of prospecting as the first stage of building a relationship with a cold lead, or a potential buyer who has no idea about you, no idea about your business, no idea about the product, service, or offer that you have for them. So a key thing to do is to keep it light, easy, and fun. Okay. Now, I'm not saying be silly. I'm not saying be unprofessional or anything like that, but we want to have it light and easy. So we would go to these, and let's say we're talking a Jim Steakhouse. So we would open up a message with Jim by saying, "Hi, Jim. My name is Justin from Alpha Wolf Consulting. We're a marketing agency that help small restaurants like yourself in just filling up on their down days." And then having a bit of information about a scenario that we've done in terms of, we've helped John's Hot Dogs go from, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday being their dead days to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday being some of the best days of their week. Do you happen to have down days where you're not making or not hitting the goals that you want to hit to progress and grow your business and expand your business to where you want it to be? Do you know what I mean? And 80% of the people that we send that message to are going to either respond with, "I'm not overly interested," going to respond with, "No, whatever, ignore it," whatever they may do. And what we're looking for is the ones that bite back and say, "Oh, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are my better days, but Sunday is just absolute, dog shit in the sense that I just can't get customers through the door. And then from there, as they respond, what we're doing is we're then moving in and saying, well, what we've done with John's hot dogs is we were able to create packages for those down days and create offers to really increase traffic, but we were also able to do targeted marketing on specific timeframes that we worked out were the best timeframes, in terms of getting in front of the buyer and building relevance with potential customers. Okay, so that's sort of how it goes, but it doesn't even have to be that complex. We're trying to start conversations directed at moving a prospect from not understanding who we are, what we do, how we help small businesses, to moving them to B, where they understand the value that we provide them and how we can help create creative solutions to overcome potential hurdles that they may be facing in their business. So that's a key thing. And what prospecting does is prospecting then not lynches, but then leads on to lead generation. And in lead generation, we might have a case study or something like that, or a little marketing strategy or something like that we've done up, something of value to a potential customer that they can enact and engage, that we give them freely to show them, hey, I'm here to give you value. It doesn't matter if you buy from me right now. What I'm trying to do is set the precedence in the relationship that when you deal with me, you get value in return. And that's what we're trying to do, is demonstrate our value and break down the barriers of resistance, because like you would know within yourself, if you're a small business owner, or if you've worked in small businesses, is that they get bombarded with offers every day from low quality sales and marketing, consultants that are looking just to sell them a product and take money from their hand. So what we're trying to show them in prospecting and lead generation is we're trying to show them that, hey, I'm here to invest into your business and help your business operate and perform at its highest level. Okay. And sort of, you know, I'm here to help you, and I want to set the precedence in this relationship that I help you even if I get nothing in return, because that sets a reputation for who I am as a salesperson, who the business I operate for, how they operate and how they, view or invest into their potential buyers. So a key thing to understand with prospecting is it's a numbers game. In this stage of the sales process, we are looking for maximum output in terms of offers made and messages sent. Okay. So to put this in a bit of perspective, if we think about, running a marketing advertisement, that marketing ad is going to get maybe 10, 20,000 impressions, okay? But it might only get, 10 to 100 click-throughs, okay? So we've just got to understand that the amount of actions we have to take to the outcomes that we get are drastically separate. So we have to do an exponential amount of actions to get, a small amount of leads through the door. And it's not about, that these are set in stone, but it depends on how long you've been marketing, how well you understand your, potential buyers, and how much you've identified their needs and how you can communicate their needs to them in language that means something to them. So that's why prospecting is so important, because this is the information gathering stage. Because we're talking to so many different businesses, or because we're talking to so many different buyers, we're able to start caching and understanding and a picture of the industry, of the sector, you know, of the geolocation that we're operating in, whatever it may be for our targeting. Okay. So an important thing to understand is when I worked in the property and I was helping first home buyers get into their first home, on the first calls, I had to sift through all of the people who were not buyers. And that's what prospecting is very good for, because that's what we're doing. We're sifting through the non-buyers, finding the buyers, and then moving them down the value ladder in terms of if they're interested. Hey, I've got a case study and marketing plan that we ran for John's Hot Dogs, okay, that really helped them improve, and let's use an artificial number of 40%. We were able to improve their traffic week on, week out, up 40%. So it's having something where we can show tangible results for the strategies that we've implemented, and we've given them that strategy for free. But the key is we're not doing a bespoke strategy for their business. This is just a strategy that we've done on another business. So while it has massive value to a potential buyer, it also isn't easy to implement in terms of we don't want to go out there and do a bespoke marketing plan for someone, give them the marketing plan, operate it, run it for them, and sort of, give it all to them, and then have them say, thank you, see you later. I don't want any more. So what we're trying to do with lead magnets is we're trying to provide massive amounts of value, okay, but we're not investing massive amounts of time in those programs or products that we're offering them. And what we do is we leverage on, if you would like a bespoke strategy, okay, that is where we then take you down the sales process. So just understand that like prospecting for new business is like marketing. We're pushing potential customers into our sales cycle or into our sales pipeline to where we're now able to start servicing them. So then we, like in the last sections, the 4-step sales process, after we prospect, after we send our lead magnet or lead generation tool over to them and we generate a lead and they are interested, then we bring them into qualifying, presenting, overcoming potential objections, and then closing the deal and bringing them on as a new customer. So prospecting is so important because the amount of work we have to do in prospecting to the leads we're going to generate will be, at 10%, 5%, 20%, and what we're trying to do as we refine that process and as we become more skilled at understanding these specific niche type of buyers, we're able to increase the effectiveness of our prospecting to where we're maybe able to get 40% of leads out of our prospecting. Or maybe we're able to get 50%, 60%, 70%, depending on the product, service, or offer that you sell. For example, if we're selling chewing gum, well, it's quite easy to say if it's less than $1 for a packet of gum, well, we're probably going to be able to, out of 100 people that we speak to, if we get good enough, we could probably get 80 to 90% of them to buy it. All right. So just understand this, that prospecting is the hard work in terms of this is where we're having the majority of our conversations with potential buyers and non-buyers. And this is where we're really building and developing our skills in our industry to be able to understand who is a buyer, who is not a buyer, to be able to understand a bit more of a scope of the sector. Okay, we're gathering information about non-buyers, what do they think, about buyers, what do they think, about maybe buyers, what do they think, and we're cataloging these so that we can increase our effectiveness. But it's important in sales to understand the more people we can talk to every day, every week, every month, the more potential customers that we can onboard, because the more we're doing brand reputation. So that's an important aspect of prospecting to think about is this is brand reputation building. This is, us building and getting out there the name of our business, what our product, service, or offers are, how we help them, identifying and educating potential customers and potential buyers on current problems that they may be facing. So it's very, very important aspect of a process because this really sets the foundations for our sales process to where when we have an effective prospecting strategy that is linked to a very, very robust lead generation strategy, okay, we're able to maximize the amount of people we speak to the amount of leads we're able to get out of that pool of people. And from that, we're able to then identify subsections within our target market and identify different narratives, different language patterns, different challenges that they may be facing. Like some small businesses may have cost of good issues where it doesn't matter if they become busier and busier because their prices are just so high and margins, aren't there. So the more they service, the less money they make, or the more they have to spend to make less money. Okay. And an easy way to understand this is the busier a business is, especially a small restaurant, the more staff they need, the more food they need. If they don't have strategic, you know, cost of goods strategies where they're, sourcing the best materials at the best prices and they're sourcing materials at above market prices, well, if we make them busier, potentially we can send them bust. So it's a good thing to understand different aspects of the business environment that you're in or the niche that you're in to really, really dive in and understand what is beneficial to potential buyers. Because to some buyers, if they're able to get 20, 30, 40, 50 more customers a week, they're laughing, they're loving life. To some businesses, they need to be able to get, 50, 100, 200 more customers a week, but they also need to be able to operate and fix their operations to be able to be one, more effective, but also to reduce costs so that they're able to maximize the returns that they get per customer. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you understand a little bit more about prospecting, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day. Thanks so much.